All right, we are back for Bayou time. In case you figured it out, it's Mardi Gras season. A lot of meetings going on with Mardi Gras, everybody trying to get it right. Rain coming in, rescheduling, doing different things. Logistically, it's one of the toughest things you could do, but luckily, we got guys that could figure it out. So, and they've been in meetings all morning. Let me introduce them. The Parish President, Jason Bergeron, is here. Good to see you, Mr.
Thank you
Parish President.
Yes, sir.
The Sheriff, our good buddy Tim Saunier. Been up here many times. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mark.
Police Chief Travis Terrio. Good to see you, Travis.
You too.
And Noah Leeret, the CAO of Terrebonne Parish. Noah, good to see you.
You too, sir.
All right. Mr. Parish President, let's start with you. Meetings, 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 and people take Mardi Gras pretty serious. I guess we all know that by now. What has been decided so far, if you could?
So we got together, and it's always about the safety at the same time, protecting the things that people have purchased or the floats and everything that everybody puts a lot of hard work and effort into. And so based on the weather coming in like it is, we're looking at moving the Crew of Aquarius Parade behind Titans, which is after Hyacinthines, with Hyacinthines rolling at the normal time of 12:30. So we're going to do that for the homeless parade, and then the Petit Caillou Parade is moving from this Saturday to next Saturday, and they're going to roll an hour earlier at 11 a.m.
And I'll ask the sheriff the same question with his deputies and all that too, but when you logistically trying to change all this, and we know the parish president, the police chief, and everybody else is involved, I don't think people realize how much moving of law enforcement you got to do. It takes a long time to get all that straight.
There's a lot of movement, especially when you have multiple parades. Like, take, for instance, Saturday would have been a parade down to Bayou, Petit Caillou parade, and then moving our officers up for their other parade. So there's a lot of logistics, and looking at everything. Look, the important part, we want to make sure we have parades for our community. And we're working with the Mardi Gras crews to make that happen, but we also want to make sure it's safe. And the issues, the biggest issue, some of the rain, but I take concern with lightning and thunder. And when we received the time to say, lightning and thunder, I do not want to put anybody on a float. And honestly, who would want to take their children out there if you got thunder and lightning out there? Sometimes a little rain may bring them, but thunder and lightning usually will keep people in.
Yeah, and in the spirit of communication, we all know that the parish is split between city and sheriff's departments and all, but y'all communicate a lot during the parade, right?
Yes.
That communication is important.
By working together and setting each other up for success.
Yeah. And Chief Terrio, when you have to make moves with your personnel, and you got a young staff too, for the most part, you got young officers out there, so they're eager probably to get into the flow. As they get older, they'll be going another parade, but they're eager right now, aren't they?
They are, and whenever you look at the city limits, those guys are going to be on the street the longest. So at some point in time during the parade, we were talking, we'll probably end up doing a crew change and swapping the ones out and pulling maybe even some off the route, putting them on the road, put the ones on the road on the route, and making sure that they get the proper rest. They think they can go 24/7, but they really can't.
Yeah, I understand. Mr. Leeret, let's come to you. So logistically, in your position, are the parish presidents going to all the meetings and you're communicating with the sheriff and the police chief? I'm sure a lot of people call the government building in there. The only thing on their agenda all year long, when are we going to ride? So are you getting a lot of that?
We get our fair share of that. Luckily, we have an amazing team, Martin. All our directors, all of our staff, this isn't the first rodeo, right? They got a plan A, plan B, plan C. So we're prepared. Our big thing is, we're the second largest Mardi Gras in the state, and we're the most family friendly. So safety, family orientation, and our big objective this year is to make this as clean as can be Mardi Gras, right? We want to keep trash out of the bayous. We're taking proactive measures to do that. And we want to remind everybody, don't trash our town, right? We want to bring people here from out of town. This is a big economic driver for our home, and we want to make sure it's even better every year.
Yeah, it's incredible the amount of money that comes through Terrebonne Parish for a parade. People are amazed. You're right, second largest Mardi Gras in Louisiana. I'm going to cut this segment short because I want to spend a little more time in the second segment about logistics and all. So let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about logistics because Mardi Gras has changed in Terrebonne Parish and coming through the city. It's gotten bigger. It's gotten more diverse. It's bigger. With bigger comes some great things, but comes some problematic things, and we're going to talk about that, and they're on it, but we'll talk about it just to let the public know. We'll be right back. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. All right, we're back. We're talking with the parish president of Terrebonne Parish, Jason Badgerow, talking with the sheriff, Tim Saunier, talking with the police chief, Travis Terrio, and we're talking with the CAO, Noah Leeret, right here, talking about Mardi Gras, really. And Mr. Badgerow, let me ask you this. We talk about logistics. People go and have a great parade, but we were just seeing your crew doing commercials the other day, and I got to do a line in it. It was fun, but tracking the parade, people are going to be able to track it. So some new stuff coming out.
Yes, sir. So the parish definitely puts out parade trackers. So if you're curious where the parade is, I mean, that's all people do is sit on the side of the road, eat, drink, and wonder when the parade's going to get there. So you better track that through the TOSEP app, I'm sorry. So you definitely know where the parade is. And also want to kind of follow up, you had talked about the economic impact. And so I want to share that people may not know, but in 2016, they did a study, and Mardi Gras had a $42 million impact on Terrebonne Parish. And so it brings a lot of people, it brings a lot of revenue into our parish. And so I really commend first the first responders that do everything they do to make it happen, the parish employees that do everything they can to make it happen, and the crews. And these crews work all year long. They don't just work for Mardi Gras, they work all year long to bring us the amazing parades that we get to watch and enjoy.
And Sheriff and the police chief sharing this conversation, because one of the biggest things is keeping these parades tight and moving. And every float thinks they're the most important thing in the parish. And that they spend a lot of money. We get it. They want to spend time in front of their loved ones, but got to keep it moving, huh, Sheriff?
Absolutely. And look, there's a lot of things we go through in the beginning. When I talked to Lieutenant Barnes, he was riding around looking at all the lighting. He was looking at power lines, looking at things there, because we got a certain height, and we do a lot of checks so it doesn't create that lull on that parade route, because if something hits a power line, something, we try to address all of these issues between lighting, moving into nighttime parades, or even if a parade drags in from the early evening, or when we start early parade and it ends at night. So lighting's equally important to all of those parades. So there's a lot of those things that happen just so we don't have a delay in a parade where there's a stop. Like when we get going, we like to kind of keep it moving. We have a couple control stops for the particular parade so things can catch up. So when we move downtown, everything's tight so we can move. But all these other things people don't think about, the lighting, power lines, things like that, and DOTD checks, we check. We have a set even in a parking lot before it moves them all. We have a line set, and everything should clear under that. If it clears under that, we shouldn't have any issues on the parade route.
Well, I hear that Marine coming out in you.
Yes.
You got it all. You got it all orchestrated. I like
Absolutely.
that. You got to, really,
Yes.
when you think about it. Chief, coming to you, before I ask you this question, I made a mistake yesterday. I was interviewing SP and the King and Gavin Dugat, Grand Marshal, and I said, Gavin, I think you're the youngest Grand Marshal of all time. And I told him I was 50 when I did, but you're 25. I got to make a correction. Jason and the South Terrebonne Gators, when they won the state championship, were the Grand Marshals at 17 and 18 years old. So when I'm wrong, I got to stand corrected. All right, so we got that out the way. All right, so let me come to you, Chief. The hot spots. I know the hot spot, some of them are the same, but sometimes they morph into other areas.
So really, with the city limits, people have the opportunity to drink all day long, and they start early. Right? I'd venture to say there's someone along the parade route that has already started drinking, and they were sitting there waiting for tonight's parade. I'd put money on it. I could find somebody waiting for tonight's parade. So it's the alcohol consumption, right? That's what feeds into all the problems for Mardi Gras. Alcohol problems and age groups, right? Wherever the younger crowd tends to hang out, they're not quite as responsible. So we've taken security measures to provide for the safest Mardi Gras possible. Our guys are going to be out there, and they're going to be professional but proactive. We're not going to tolerate any type of violence along the parade route, and we're going to make sure we have a safe Mardi Gras. And one thing to consider is those police officers and sheriff's deputies on the street. They're out there for a long time. So yeah, they might not be smiling, but they might not be smiling because they are just worn out.
And let me make a point. The point is, some people think they bow up to police officers and they want to prove a point in front of their friends. I'd be more scared of dogs. Y'all got a lot of dogs deployed for this, don't you?
We'll have 9 of them out between us and the sheriff's department, and they work hand in hand. If he needs dogs in the parish, they're going. If we need dogs in this city, he's sending everything he's got. So there'll be 9 dogs working together.
I don't know about y'all, but 1 dog is way too many for me. All right.
And if they see some drones buzzing overhead, that's us.
Okay, right. Talk about that a little bit. That's important.
So we've picked up some drones for surveillance and things like that. So we're going to be keeping an eye on things, and we're doing everything we can do to make it safe. We have security towers, and we're going to have 2 security towers within 2 blocks of each other. The sheriff's going to have his, and then 2 blocks later, we'll have ours.
And y'all both have drones, right?
Yep.
Yeah, both have drones. So no, what happens to the parish when we got all this going on? Naturally, the parish president, he's got to talk to the people. He's got to let them see him. It's part of being parish president, but the lights still got to go on. Everything else has to go on. So you got to logistically keep your crews rolling for the parish president, right?
That's right. And communication, right? So we have a new department in the TPCG, our communications department, which has been integral with just making sure everybody's on the same page and coordination, which that's what this is. We have a special event, and it's just like a weather event that, like you said, everything's got to keep on going, but we still got to maintain this and do special things for Mardi Gras. So it's all about just talking to each other, being in constant contact with all your key personnel. And like I said, everybody's doing a great job. Done this many times, and I'm just fortunate to be on this team with them.
So, Mr. Parish President, you rode when you were 18. Y'all probably had a good old time. It's a little different now. You run in the parish, instead of throwing stuff and hollering at people and throwing football, you got to do a lot of waving on both sides. Are you in shape or your arms ready to go?
I mean, I've been practicing my waves. It's funny, come full circle as a Grand Marshal for Hercules, riding in clubs, running clubs, to see that side of it, and to now see this side of it and all the hard work. And I want to share too, for those that maybe have sensory issues, for those that don't want to be around alcohol, we have the bus station close to downtown that is an alcohol-free, sensory-free environment, so that if you want to have this, a safer environment where you don't have to worry about all the other stuff, please go down there and watch that party.
Fantastic. Sheriff, I want to thank you for your work. You've been we had a first interview a few years back. You're a seasoned pro now. You are going at it. We appreciate that. Chief, thank you for the work. All law enforcement, what they do to make it safe. And Noah, keep the parish running, keep the lights on, keep everything going. And Mr. Parish President, have fun, enjoy your ride, and may the weather prevail. Okay.
Be safe. Happy Mardi Gras.
All right. We will be right back. A lot more on Bayou Time. Don't go away.